What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the DLC and Whip collab on the Bleach reviews for the Thousand Year Blood War arc. I'm Juicy J, and to my right over here is Ice. Down below me, the one and only Casey, or otherwise known as Audie Froggy, and then we got Brent Diagonal, and otherwise known as Whip, and
Well,
or work in
technically, he and
progress.
I are both known as Whip.
You both are known as Whip. Is one the W and one the P? How does that work? Who's the progress and who's
Can I be
working?
the I? The one
I'm
in between?
I'm the work, and Casey's the progress.
Casey's the
Exactly.
and
Can I
I'll
be the
accept
end?
that. I could go with that one.
Can I be
I
the end?
love it. I love it. I don't know
Aw.
what letter would we be? It's like DLC.
I'm the
Like
D for sure.
for sure. Jacob's probably L because he really
Yeah.
likes and so I guess I'm the C because I just see.
'Cause you're the captain.
Yeah, I'm Captain the C. Yeah, like either way, guys, thank you for joining us. So guys, we're jumping right into it. Bleach episode 7 of the Thousand Year Blood War arc. I want to hear your thoughts, initial thoughts, and we are going to start with our guests. Let's start with you, Casey. What we got?
Oh my fucking god. I mean, okay, I'm still gonna have trouble with names here, which you guys know me by now. I am not good with names, but Ichigo finally coming up to Yahweh, Yahweh,
Yahavak. Yahavak. Yeah.
Yahavak.
Yahavak.
Holy fucking shit. They made that dramatic. Like, I mean, it was dramatic in the manga, but fuck, dude.
Some added scenes, and not like too many, but like the whole throw
No,
the sword down and grab the sword. Like,
yeah, there was definitely an addition from the manga. But honestly, I really enjoyed it, and I felt it was intense, especially knowing what's going to happen later on. It makes it like that much more. No, what's the best word? Holy shitness, I guess. I did have one question, and I was going to bring this up to you, Jeremiah, because I watched the episode and I read the manga and everything. Was the captains fighting and the first captain stepping over those bodies? That wasn't in the manga, correct?
no.
That's what I thought. So that wasn't there. Did they have Unahama in that?
Yes, I did.
That's what I thought. I saw her. I'm like, wait, I don't remember this shit at all.
No,
I would remember this.
There was no hint. There was no hint or display of Unohana, which of course you're like, is that Unohana? You don't really know,
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
but
I had to take a double take, and I had to ask you because I'm like, am I wrong in my thought
no.
process?
That was all completely added in. A lot of their flashback scenes are completely added in, except for the original flashback scenes just before the invasion into the Soul Society.
Okay.
So what we saw there, honestly, was more than I had ever seen about the original
Mhm.
Gotai 13, and so it's it was pretty cool though. For
Oh,
dramatic
it
effect,
was
did well.
freaking intense, is what it was. But I also do like because they're laying the path for what's going to happen, and I'm seriously now looking forward to it even more than ever.
Oh yeah, we're definitely past the exposition. Like now the story starts.
Mhm.
Like Brent, I got to know then since we're on that. What were your thoughts on the episode?
I actually really like this episode. I mentioned to you, I think yesterday, that I actually had been struggling to enjoy what I had been watching so far
Mhm.
because of uh I and of course it comes, I think, it comes with the territory that I've never watched any Bleach before either. So I was sort of like trying to keep up with everything that was going on simply because I'm going in with nothing. So that's on me. But uh I up until now I was just like keeping up with all the fighting that has been happening for the past, what, 4 episodes? It's just been nonstop fighting for 4 episodes pretty much. Isaac shaking his head. Um
Yeah, I mean
And
it's been
but
insane.
on top, but and I've said this before, but like on top of all the fighting, everyone's talking. There's exposition on top of fighting, and I couldn't keep up with all of it, and it was making watching the episodes actually rather like uh frustrating.
Tedious. Yeah, but I say tedious
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
like you were probably having to rewind a lot more. And I think you're
Oh,
right there.
I don't do that. I
Oh,
just kind of just I kind of just like
just
I
keep going.
I kind of just endure.
Watch it once and just kind of like, okay, breeze
I'll,
through it, and
I'll
then
be
wait for
going
the
back and
dub to actually
rewatching it
understand what
dubbed.
happens.
I'll go back and watch it dubbed. Uh,
Hmm.
but I actually really like this episode. Things slowed down. We got some more sort of slower paced action,
Mhm.
and there wasn't a whole bunch of talking on top of it. The characters could just do their thing. It was a very silent, sort of emotional fight between Ichigo and that one guy. Um, I I remember sitting there just, and spoiler warning, I I was sitting there just going, this mother effer is a Quincy, huh? Like it's like this guy is gonna be revealed like as soon as like as soon as like the blue vein stuff occurred, I was like, oh, it's like, come on, like don't confirm what Jeremiah's been like telling us for the past several episodes. It's like, don't do that. But
I've
like,
been
I just
waiting for
remember
this
going
fight.
into it as like, this guy's gonna be a
Right, right.
Quincy, like, and he's gonna have Quincy blood in him at the very least. And it, and it's just like, and then it was at the end is like, oh yeah, you're a Quincy, and I was like, or it's like or at least he's got Quincy blood in him,
Mhm.
and I was just like, "Oh,
Mhm.
okay. All right, that's cool. I mean, I don't like it when things are predictable, but that was cool."
Um, may I go ahead and say one thing?
Sure.
Um, the one thing I would have stated, like as you said, Brent, you haven't really watched the anime. A lot of what you would see in the anime compared to what you would see in this episode, you would have made the distinction that there was a connection between Ichigo and Yahavek because Ichigo's Zanpak Do, um oh god dang it, it's now leaving me. Jeremiah, help me. Zanpak Do name.
Getsuka, or not?
Yes,
Sangetsu, Sangetsu.
Zangetsu. Zangetsu actually looks like Yahavek.
See, this what you just said makes no sense to me at all because I've
So
never watched
Um
any
the
at
the the
all.
the soul of Ichigo's sword
so his sword
looks like
has a person
the
that
guy.
lives in it in a sideways world where you can stand and run on the side of skyscrapers. Um, and that guy sometimes has another roommate who's pretty racist. But um, the best way, and that guy, not the racist guy, but the other guy who looks like a cool uncle that you would love to see every once in a while, looks exactly like Yahavak.
There we go. That's the best way to explain it.
Okay.
Okay, in every Soul Reaper sword, there is a freeloader. There is
Okay.
a living being inside of it, another soul, which is the whole. That's how you become like get stronger by connecting with them and training and getting closer. So your souls merge to one, and then you get your Shikai, then your Bonkai, and blah blah blah. But
Okay, exactly. The in order to unlock the Bankai, you need to know the name of your sword,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Okay. Got it.
That's the joke we've been talking about with Kenpachi because he does not fight with a Shikai. He does not know the name. His sword tried to talk to him a long time ago. He's like, "Shut it." And he
Yeah.
instead uses his sword is so chipped. It's not even it's not. I think his sword's not sharp. It's chipped, so it's still dangerous, but it's not sharp. And he literally can cut through
Okay.
mountains. So like, yeah, he's a crazy guy. But anyway, getting off topic. Now we've all been
Yeah.
waiting for this. I know
Sorry.
Isaac has been waiting for it. Isaac, what were your thoughts?
Sorry, I was taking care of something.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you?
Right. The whole family just decides to show up on the holiday. Am I right? Uh, what are my thoughts on it? Kind of drawing a blank. They got like my mindset got disrupted. Oh, okay. So first off, I just want to say the opening sequence, along with the music and the visuals, gave me Attack on Titan vibes.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys got that. Just the music, it sounded like Attack on Titan, and with like the gore and all that, it looked like it. But that's besides the point. Um, I thought it was kind of sick though. You see the original 13 captains, and then
Mhm.
and he basically says they weren't even captains; they were just murderers that you recruited. And I'm like, that's some gangster shit right there, bro. Like that's what's up. I mean, because like honestly, out of all the captains right now, the only one that kind of still resembles that is Kenpachi,
Mhm.
right? Out of the 13, like he would fit the original 13, just how his mentality works, right? Um, but you know, we discussed the meme where Ichigo has a little bit of everything in him, right? And you know that's fine and dandy. I respect it, but um, well, first of all, I love the fact the way the head captain just got like cut in half. I thought that was kind of a dope way to go. And then you
Oh
know
yeah.
you kind of see and like basically you can see his past where he's talking about like that was a monster, and if
Mhm.
you ever see him again, then you know so on and so forth. But I do respect the see I don't even try see I don't even try with names. The Quincy's leader, you know, because you know what I'm talking about. I
You
respect
know.
when he I respect the fact that he shared on like you know you got soft, Pe- like peace made you weak, you know.
Mhm.
It made you soft, and you
Like
know like he
I love that.
expected more out of
Here's my my 4-page report on exactly why you aren't a threat. Like I was like, damn.
exactly
Okay, there we go.
exactly. And one thing I do like too is the fact because like Brent, if you watch or if you ever decide to watch Bleach, one thing you notice is a lot of people get close to death, but they never die, unless they're the
Mhm.
bad guys, right? This one was just like, yeah,
They're
you know
dead.
what? Ain't nobody safe. You know, we're just gonna kill everyone. We're gonna because you know, Captain Kuchiki and the anime, he's basically a god, and like you know, he's no one can really hold a candle to him. You know, outside of plot armor. You know, if it wasn't for plot armor, that dude's unbeatable. Am I right?
Yeah.
So the fact that
Pretty much.
the fact that you not only see him get dying in this episode, but in the last episode, you legit the Quincy basically tells him that feeling you fear, I mean that you feel, it isn't venom or anything. I didn't poison you. That's just fear
Mhm.
because you've been on top for so long, you forgot what that feels like. So just to see him trembling just sends an impact on how ruthless and brutal these Quincy's are.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
their powers are pretty insane. Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
mhm,
and
definitely has
and
not.
like Brent was saying, it's action, act straight through action, and I'm loving it because you know I do like dialogue. You know, dialogue is fine. You know, you did, but I feel like when they made this, they had the assumption that me, you, and Casey are gonna watch it. They didn't really care too much about the new people. They were
No,
like, if you
and like I
if
said, that's on me. Like
yeah,
my
no, that's what I'm
opinion
saying.
is completely on me.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what. But that's what I like about it. Because one thing I don't like is if an anime, if it isn't a reboot but a continuation, don't waste episodes explaining what happened for the new people. No, go and watch it
mhm,
and enjoy what's out now. So I
mhm.
kind of like that they kind of sprinkle in a little bit of what kind of happened. I mean, all they really touched on was the whole beef between the Soul Reapers and the Quincy's, right? They didn't really
Mhm.
touch on anything else outside of that,
I mean,
and I
I would like
like
to
that
point out
because
the end of the first episode. The ending
oh
was
yeah,
literally an
oh yeah,
extended
yeah,
video
yeah,
where it showed you the entire
oh
thing
yeah.
in a quick.
No,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right. But like, but even
There's your
it,
recap. Like,
yeah, like because even with that, even that without concept, people will still be like, "What the hell did I just watch?" You know.
yeah.
But yeah, that was their way of like, here, look, this is all the things you can see. Let me show.
Mhm.
This is what happens in it. If you want concept, go and watch it. You know what I mean? So the fact that it's just all action makes me happy because if you watch Bleach, there is a lot of dialogue. You
A
know,
lot more.
and then the action sequences don't last as long. So like when they're there, you're enjoying like yes, 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 and then but once it's over, dialogue, training, dialogue, filler. It's nice for them to say, you know what, y'all know what's up.
Mhm.
So we're just gonna throw everything but the kitchen sink at y'all, and
It's
I'm
the
enjoying.
shonen curse though. It's the
Right.
and I want to commit like so you the dialogue can be frustrating, but I guarantee you that the shonen dialogue curse is a lot worse than this. And what I mean by that is when something first comes out, it's usually pretty unique and awesome. But give it
Mhm.
about 3 seasons and you got shonen breathing down your neck like, hey, it's time to make more content. And suddenly you've got fights going. I'll let you know this isn't my true power. What are you saying? Are you saying
Yeah,
that this power that I fought right here, that you aren't even at your full potential? Are you saying the whole time
right.
we've been fighting, this wasn't your Bankai? No, you fool. This is my Bankai.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you now. Is he about to show it to me? I wonder what it could be. Ichigo, someone else has to come in? Oh, God, this is getting intense. And he isn't even at his full power. And I'm like,
No.
huh. Okay, we've established he's not full. We've established he's good. He's about to show us. Stop interrupting the kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm appreciating with this because like what Whip may be considering a lot of dialogue. For me personally, haven't watched Bleach. I feel like there's very minimal dialogue compared to what I'm accustomed to. Like there's sequences where they do time lapses or whatever they go back in time. All this happened and there's dialogue there, but for the most part, considering what I'm used to, I'll say for me personally, it's like 20% dialogue, 80% action. For me, compared to old Bleach. No, dude, I'm being honest, because old Bleach, dude, like original Bleach, they talk a lot. like,
There is there. I
but
mean, these guys could literally have constructed 3-day plans with all
like,
the.
I feel like there was an episode where I feel like the captain meeting was there for like 5-6 minutes
Mhm.
of the captains talking.
Yeah, that's in the 40s,
Mhm.
just before
Yeah,
Aizen dies. Like
yeah,
where.
it's just straight talking. But the thing is, I'm so invested in the story, I don't mind it. But granted, if 15, 14-year-old me saw this, I'd be like, okay, less of that, more of this. Let's pick it up now. But
It,
it
it
gives me
it's
an appreciation for it.
it's definitely a switch to how the series first began because when the series first began, it was kind of like a comedic monster of the week type show.
Yeah,
And then it started getting a lot more dramatic, but it's definitely different with the starting of this series because Thousand Year Blood War, oh no, we get the story, we're putting down the blocks right now so that way we can get into the action later on.
that's it. But I would in I because I respect that, and of course as a fan, like I'm casual, but I also read it, so I know what they're going to say. I will say though, I can understand where Brent's coming from because, like for instance, the exchange between Shunsui, the dual wielding captain who lost his eye,
Mhm,
and I can't remember who he's fighting, but that exchange is very important because they're
mhm,
both kind of explaining like we don't, because students we would rather not fight anyways, and they're both like showing respect and fighting, but at the same time they're kind of heavy on the you think we wouldn't stand up for our leader, oh you think we wouldn't stand up for our leader, and then all of a sudden they start fighting. It's like it would have been nice to hear them both give their convictions first, so I could be
mhm,
more invested in their fight and not just accept, oh hey, cool, he lost his eye and now he's standing there again. I would have liked a little more explanation as to because their dialogue in the manga and right here in the anime is supposed to showcase the morale shift from one side to the other, and where they're really clashing in the middle. That was what that conversation was utilized as, and they didn't. They literally gave them 2 lines every time they pop up, and then guy with gun shoots him a couple more times. I'm like,
Well,
God,
well,
like
that's why I kind of appreciate when Ichigo says, "Are you the enemy's leader?" and he's like the enemy, huh?
Oh, I love that. Now that's in the
Mhm.
manga and the anime, and that was a great time. He's like, huh. If you're asking about the enemy, and they did really well. You know, like the enemy, that's kind of subjective. It's like, are you the
Yeah,
one who did this? So it's like, oh yeah, like you're
yeah,
damn
yeah,
right you
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Like, this is the
yeah,
question.
yeah, no, I enjoyed
Mhm.
that. Um, but yeah, no, dude, I'm excited for the next episode, man, because like now just cause I'll be like, Ichigo goes back, hey Uryu, guess what? You know why you hated me this whole time? Ha! Finds out we're related.
So that's so for
And then
for
and you hate Soul Reapers? Well, look at me. I'm a Soul Reaper and a Quincy and a Hollow and a human combined in this nice little bundle, and I live in serenity. So there's no reason you should hate me.
Serenity.
and a full bringer, can't forget that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and the Fullbringer. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I can't forget that.
The one thing Chad had, he had to take that too.
No,
But
no. Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say, one thing what I thought would have been kind of sick was when I'm drawing up blank. What's his name? The guy that got his eye shot.
Shunsui.
Yeah. You know what would have been so gangsta if like the guy shows up and then they make eye contact. It gets all serious, and then you see him toss up his cloak, and right behind him is a little table with some sake. And he's like, "Let us talk first. Like, let us talk
This
first."
one, of
To
course,
be
is a little
honest,
different, but he would have if he could.
yeah, to
Like,
be honest, that is completely in line with his character.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I just thought that'd be good. I remember seeing that when he did that to Chad, and I was like, that is the most gangsta, disrespectful thing I've ever seen.
So in this starting exposition, it was very good. Obviously, I loved it from start to finish. We're now where I mean, I was really looking forward to this fight. Um, so and I love having everyone's opinion from someone who's read it, someone who's watched it, you know, someone who's trying to get into it. Especially for you, Brent. I love that you pointed out exactly what I was going to like. Kubo got tired of it. The memes that no one ever dies, the memes that Ichigo is just going to find out he's half something else and overcome the problems. And so when the Thousand Year Blood War arc started, we were all just like, oh, it's kind of like that silent moment where Kubo was just like, what? What? First thing I do is off a fucking lieutenant. He dead. Second thing I do, right out the gate, Ichigo's hot part Quincy. Screw your jokes. Screw the build up. This is what you want? This is what you people want? He just does it.
No, and here's the thing here's the thing I appreciate about that, because you either deny the meme and people still keep making fun of you and you look like a fool, or you accept the meme and you ride with it to where people are just like, the ball's on this guy.
Well, to put out my own opinion on this, he not only rides with it, he goes further with it. Because there was a part where it took me a long time to finally accept this part of Bleach, where something like instantaneous happens after characters meet, and you're just sitting here like, it shouldn't have happened that way. Why did it happen that way? Oh my god, what the hell? He just changed everything. But now that I look back at it, it's just like, actually, that kind of makes a little bit too much sense to how the story kind of plays out in the 1,000-Year Blood War.
It is.
So that doesn't happen until like almost the very end.
It is beautiful.
Mhm.
The last thing I'm going to toss out there, what y'all think about? So, Isaac will know this. You should know this, Casey, but that the final fight, the fight between Yahavaka and Ichigo, is literally supposed to end in a rush because then, of course, the shadow falls off him. But
Mhm.
instead, they showcased a power he has where he made all those bows and arrows fight. None of that's
Mhm.
none of that's in the manga. But
Yeah,
by
no.
golly, was that not beautiful? Like, I'll admit, like the things they're adding into these fights, I definitely would stay to watch. And
Mhm.
it is dope. What did y'all think about that cinematic? Like that, it wasn't a part of the manga, but it still looked pretty clean. What do you think?
To be honest, I freaking loved it. I mean, in
Mhm.
the manga, they even didn't really do that much. Like
Yeah,
the fight
there
scenes
was a
were
lot
like,
of talking.
Yeah,
in
there was
that
a
one.
lot of talking and maybe like 2 panels where you saw swords clashing, if that. So the fact that they actually had that kind of like cinematography, that kind of visual, there we go. That kind of visual. No, like, okay, yeah, I can see why he's the big bad now, because beforehand, like, the only reason why you felt he was powerful is because he barely lifted a finger against Ichigo. Whereas, like, in this, oh no, you see his power, and you have to sit there and wonder how much more powerful is he.
Well,
Do either of you have another
yeah.
take on that?
Oh, I don't know.
The scene in particular is when he summons a bunch of bows of light, and each goes fighting them. Well, then
Well,
all of a sudden, those bows grab a bunch of rocks. They're just like, it's like,
Mhm.
no, well, no, no. For me, what I liked about it is because when Ichigo shows up and he's going basically sword to sword with him, right? They give the impression like, okay, maybe he can kind of hold his own. It ain't gonna be a blowout or nothing. And then when he pins him and then he stabs him in the neck, and then he shows his Quincy power that he's able to stop it. And they're like, okay, you know what? I thought he was down, but maybe not. Maybe that little Quincy blood in him gonna come through. And then it gets to the point where we're just like, it's kind of like when the younger brother just keeps messing with the older brother, and the older brother just like just keeps tossing on like, oh, whatever. Then finally the older brother gets tired of him. He's like, you know what? Let me just pick you up and just toss you across the room. That way, it's kind of like, and because I felt like that wasn't really showing his. He wasn't really trying to flex. It was just him being aggravated. Like, just stop. Like, it's useless. Just stop. Like, you're being a mosquito right now.
yeah.
So I think he did it strictly out of annoyance, not so much of I'm the big guy here.
Well, he was trying to walk. If you notice, like his whole premise, even in the manga, was we need to bring this guy back.
Yeah.
Like we need to bring him back to Wandenreich, and you need to come with us. And so he wasn't trying to kill Ichigo, and I feel like that showcased whenever they're leaving, and his second in command there, like just one shots Ichigo's entire sword. It's like, yep, like he has that power because he's obviously stronger than that dude,
Mhm.
but he's just trying to get you home, buddy. But well, guys, final thoughts as we're pushing a bit, but final thoughts. Let's start with Brent because you've been kind of silent.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
say that like, um, perhaps I'm a bit of like being a bit of a hypocrite when I say that all this action has been a little bit too much for me to follow because, um, you know, My Hero Academia season 6 has been nothing but action from the get go, and it hasn't stopped, and it's not gonna stop anytime
Mhm.
soon. Um, but the only difference is that the dialogue that is being spoken isn't all exposition. It's all like in the moment stuff. Uh, whereas all this stuff, a lot of the conversations that have been occurring during the fight scenes has been all exposition, explaining all of this stuff that I feel could have been conveyed in like actual episodes. Uh, uh, but um I'm now looking forward to seeing, kind of like the what comes next
Mhm.
sort of scenario that everyone's probably gonna be in going forward. So that'll be interesting.
Definitely, and so that is the difference between I would say between My Hero and Bleach. Bleach is starting this as if it's a whole new book. It's the same series, but now it's a new book. So you're getting this extra, the whole
Mhm.
thing. Whereas My Hero season 6 has just started exactly where it picked up, like where it left off. This is like one giant book versus a three-parter here. But
Yeah.
um, Casey, thoughts?
I mean, you know me. I have been so looking for the whole Kenpachi
Oh yeah.
training session and the fact that they showed Unohana for who she is. I'm just loving that
They did it
grotesque
early.
fact.
They did it early.
Yeah, they did it
I
very
do,
early,
but I
and
respect
I
it.
freaking loved it. I loved it because it's setting up for what's going to happen there. The other thing I do want to, I do have one more question. Did Yevok talk about who the threats were?
So in the manga, he does
In the
point out.
manga, he does. In the
Yes.
anime, I didn't. I mean, I may not have been paying attention to it, but it doesn't seem like he ever like specifically talked about who the threats were, whereas in the manga he did.
Yeah,
So
in
I
the
was wondering if I missed that.
in the anime, instead of talking about it, they showed all 5 of them. Remember when he was talking,
Oh,
they showed
that's right.
Aizen, they
Okay.
showed, yeah, and so in the anime they showed all 5 of them, whereas
Okay.
in the manga, yeah, he does actually name like who the
Okay.
5 were and why he wasn't. So, all right, well, and Isaac, let's end it on a high note or a low note. How do you want to end it, bro?
Wait, what am I
Last
doing?
thoughts, final
Oh, last
thoughts.
thoughts. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. I guess because I'm so nostalgic with Bleach, I finally. I don't know about you guys, but there's times where I get kind of burned out on anime, and I take like a long hiatus from watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, watching Bleach makes me feel like I'm a kid discovering anime for the first time.
That's fair.
That doesn't make
Not a
me feel
bad
right
feeling at all. Not a bad feeling at
now. No.
all.
I mean, we definitely have a lot like invest into it. I'm trying to be objective with these, but I will say my nostalgia does come out. It like my respect for the series and my love for it comes out in a bias in certain things. Because like,
Yeah.
but admittedly, it is really fantastic.
Because
So
and just like the reason I say it's because My Hero's out. I love My Hero, but I'm not watching it. I don't. I'll
sad
watch
day,
it when I get
dude.
around to it. I'll watch it when I get around to it.
Bro, you
Attack on
should be
Titan, I
watching it,
enjoyed
bro.
it.
Mhm.
Attack on Titan, I enjoy Attack on Titan, but my mind says I'll get to it when I get to it. Chainsaw Man looks cool, but I'll get to it when I get to it. Like, but with Bleach is like I gotta watch it. I have to. I can't miss it. So it's just that's how my mindset is right now, dude. Like that's the only anime I actually genuinely care for at the moment. I don't care about anything else. Is just there to keep me tame until the next episode, and then I'm dropping it like a bad habit. So
It's actually kind of funny you do say that because now that I'm thinking about it, no, the Ichigo serious theme song before he's about to wreck somebody's shit is like the only song I can really remember of animes. Just like
But
that,
it's so
those
cheesy.
simple notes. Yeah, the do 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 do. It's like, oh yes, somebody's about to get their shit handed to them.
Bro, like it was every teenager's dream when you want to be the center of attention. Like, gotta be the center of attraction.
makes
Anyway,
you
Oh,
feel like
pretty much, yeah.
makes you feel like Max from Goofy.
let me tell you.
Yep, pretty much.
So,
Makes you want to just stand out.
just stand out. I'm glad we're seeing this eye to eye.
Oh my gosh.
So, well, guys, thank you for coming on
It
again.
happens. We have the perfect cast.
We gotta.
I could do this all day.
We're gonna wrap it up. Thank you for everyone who's come to watch the video. Of course, we love the support. We appreciate you. If you found that you liked it, give us a like, drop a comment, give us a subscribe. You can find us, of course, Dude Let's Chat on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. You're going to see a lot of our posts. We usually like to post Thursdays. Well, obviously, not this Thursday, it's Turkey Day. Next Thursday, we'll try to get something out. We do these Bleach reviews. We've also started streaming, and we started a Wheel of Game Pass recently. Catch those videos if you haven't already about Isaac's run in Crackdown 3, my run in Halo Reach. We'll set
which is enjoyable, by the way.
Oh, well, I'll give it to you. And Reach, of course. I mean, but we'll be talking about that in a review later on, probably towards the end of this month. And of course, setting up for another spin on the wheel next month. Work in progress, guys. Where can we find you?
You can find us. You can find us kind of on a weird hiatus for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
True, true,
Uh,
true.
Casey will be my stand-in on these Bleach shows. Uh, uh, well, Casey will not necessarily stand in, but he will be the only one present for the next couple of these Bleach shows. While I'm in California. Um, so nothing from us for a while because I'll be away on business, but we will have another My Hero video out this weekend. And then we will have another My Hero video out probably in a couple weeks while I'm locked away in a hotel room when I actually get into that hotel room. So yeah, but regularly you can find us on Thursdays talking about games or anime, things like that.
So I mean, it's always a pleasure to have y'all and a pleasure to be on y'all's show as well. For everybody else, thank you again, and you can catch us next week for this show. We're going to try and keep it on the Tuesday if we can. We're going to miss Brent, but until next
I
time,
won't.
folks. Until
No, of
next
course he'll
time.
be here with me.
Oh, that's right. He's going to you. That's dope.
Yep.
Oh, well then, y'all could come together. You could be one floating,
Yeah,
talking orb.
Casey, we could always record together in my hotel room, and you can actually be on camera.
Hey, there we go.
There we go.
I don't
Anyways,
know. I think the
guys.
frog is cute enough. So
It didn't matter. Or y'all could you could go to his place and record at his place, and we just hear the
I don't have.
frog.
I won't have a vehicle.
Oi.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm,
so he'll have to
that'd be
come to
weird.
me. Yeah.
Well, either way, everyone, thanks again. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay beautiful.